Hello guys and welcome back to another game of StarCraft 2. This is gonna be another game from the series which I've been calling wrong all the time. It wasn't New Zealand versus Netherlands, it was Canada versus Netherlands. So I do apologize for that. I have actually fixed all the titles in the past before actually posting them, so at least that. Now, Canada currently up 3-1 in favor of themselves, obviously. And we have a replacement for the Canadian player who was previously Shura. Currently it is going to be Desro. Now Desro is a Protoss player here. Have reached out to him a few days ago actually, and he was going to send me replays, which unfortunately I haven't gotten yet. But yeah, so he's going to be representing Canada in this case. He's actually currently teamless. He's not been around that much on the pro scene. As far as I'm aware, he is a full-time streamer and he does some sort of like podcasts and all this kind of stuff. So doesn't seem like he's doing too much in the tournaments, but he does of course have some activity such as coaching and all this kind of stuff. Very cool indeed. Now, his opponent, of course, Harstem. We did see him in the last game representing the Netherlands, which is all fine and well. Now let's see how this game progresses. Looks like we do have a gateway into one Nexus for Harstem, and Desro actually doing exactly the exact same thing. So build orders are almost identical. Look at that, almost right on top of each other. They're just slightly a few seconds off here and there, which is quite normal. Of course, everyone can have a little bit of an error here or there. And there we go. It's actually quite crazy how identical these builds are right now. So let's see how it progresses on. Looks like Harstem actually had his second gas a little bit earlier here, which is all fine and well. And let's see how this progresses. So any sort of deviations here? No, there is not. Everything is identical at the moment. Which, to be honest, considering it is of course a mirror matchup, with not really that strange, I suppose. There we go, finally a bit of variation here. Looks like there is, oh, interesting. So there is a Stargate out for Harstem and there is a robotics facility out for Desro. Now I just want to quickly have a look if Desro saw that. No, he did not. So Desro is not going to be aware of that Stargate. He has a robotics facility up, so it's gonna really depend on what Desro get or what Harstem gets out of that Stargate. If he gets an Oracle out and does a bit of mineral line harassment, it's going to be pretty cool, no problem. I highly doubt it's going to be Phoenixes because there's no Overlords, it's not a Zerg he's fighting. So I would expect to see Oracles out of that, just simply to do a bit of economic damage in the background. So let's see, yes, there is one Oracle on the way. So that's fine. And he's going to be bringing that out as soon as possible just to basically get himself some damage. Nothing being made out of the robotics facility just yet. And let's see how this one progresses. So it looks like a third gas coming down for Desro. Oh, look at that, he's actually going straight for the disruptor. So he's gonna get one observer out. This is probably just to basically scout out. Could actually maybe even get a second one. So there we go, actually second one being produced as well. So probably just gonna bring the observer out for sorry, that's not the correct thing. So observer out probably just to scout out the enemy base, as well as maybe detect DTs later on if there will be of course some. So that's all fine. Looks like actually there is also a War Prism out on the way, so I honestly thought it was going to be straight into disruptors, but it looks like he's going to have to delay it a little bit. There we go, now the Oracle's starting to do a bit of damage in here, and that is all fine and well. There was actually an Adept going into the expansion as well, getting taken out at this point. And look at the amount of damage that's being done by this Oracle right now. Not being ready for this Oracle has cost Desro so much right now. 10 drones or probes have actually been taken out at this point. This base of course is oversaturated. All the probes have been sent over there. Gonna be sent on backwards now. And let's see what this observer spots out. There is of course the robotics facility already up. And that's actually another gateway, so disruptors are on the way also for Desro. So what's going to be important here is if he can manage to get a few disruptor drops with the Warp Prism, it could potentially come back into it. Now, once one disruptor has been put down and it's been detected, at that point, as you can see, there's a Phoenix already here, so the Phoenix will probably be able to ward off against that quite easily. This Oracle actually still flying around, being a menace, currently 10 kills on that. Looks like supply count is slightly favouring Hearthstone, but that's of course not that significant at the moment since the units are all the way across the map. More and more probes taken out here. Currently 12 kills for that Disruptor, so that Disruptor has paid for himself twice over. Very, very well played here from Hearthstone. So a quick look, what is this? This is a Twilight Council, so probably going to see either Blink Stalkers. I would say Blink Stalkers because he doesn't have any Adepts on the field. A few more pylons being put down. It's all quite fine and well. So far so good. And there we go, a small attack here. Now there's not that much to support these Disruptors, so I think it's a bit risky to have them out here unless you have a bit more of a Stalker army on the field. Now there we go, this Oracle actually making a bit more use of itself, putting down this Status Ward over here. This essentially could be a game changer. If some units get caught out with it, then the army supply of Desro could potentially be halved for a temporary time. If that happens, at that point, Hearthstone could engage onto Desro's army and basically take it out altogether. So third base coming out for Hearthstone, deciding to go for that economy. Obviously it's already up, it's almost fully saturated as well. He's trying to bait a few units here as far as I can see. Oh, that Immortal taking a huge hit there. Not quite enough to take it out though. And there we go, the engage going off here. There's going to be a few Purification Novas. And, oh, that was beautiful. Wow, Hearthstone, very well played here. Lifting off the... He actually lifted off the Disruptor there to basically deny the ability to set off the Purification Nova. As you may be aware, if a Disruptor is lifted off by either Warp Prism or Phoenix, it cancels out the Purification Nova, which I'll show you in just a few moments there, okay? Okay, so let's have a quick look over this here right now. Obviously, I've slowed it down as you can see here, so you're gonna have a quick look at this over here. It's just beautiful play here from Hearthstone, lifting off the one Disruptor that was not actually able to, or that actually had the Purification Nova out, and that basically cancelled it out. And at that point, there was absolutely no recovery from Desro. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the final game where we're gonna see who wins, Canada or the Netherlands.